last week, Johnny said the following.
Chris Whitty. Shout out.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling that.
Fair play to him. He's probably had no sex for 20 years, but over the numerous press conferences, he's become like every girl from like 27 to 42 secret crush.
Johnny, you've got to get off Twitter, mate.
Chris Whitty Twitter is a thing.
You've got to get off Twitter,
Chris Whitty Twitter. We'll hold a poll. Hold an anonymous poll. How many women find Chris Whitty attractive?
Johnny, how do you feel now about your views on Chris? Do you still hold firm, or have you changed your view?
I feel entirely vindicated.
I'm not sure why, Johnny, to be honest.
The poll went up.
Wait, just for clarity,
let's on the Instagram story.
Break it down properly.
And the results are clear for all to see.
No, we didn't do it on the Instagram story. We specifically said we're going to put it in the comment section. Yep. Our listeners are going to decide.
Yes.
And if there are more people who say he's a dead man, like not actually dead, but if he's dead to look at, than people who want to sleep with him, he would get us some wings.
Yes,
and here we are.
Wingless.
The
poll was held.
Wingless. And Johnny Johnny did a slap pot.
When Johnny felt the man was backed in the corner,
he still want to spend money on wings.
He then decided to do his own little. He tried to do one of his own little splinter votes on his Instagram stories, which is frequented by his own people. Shock horror. And then guess what? He won that vote, didn't he?
Yeah, and didn't he vote himself as well?
And he voted on his own story.
I mean, if we're getting into technicalities of voter regularity, Rich not only voted himself, he also logged in to the TCET page to vote on behalf of them as well, still lost the vote.
Thing is,
you had to be pretty shit at vote rigging to still lose a vote.
I am allowed to vote on Johnny's vote.
Sure you are.
I'm allowed because it wasn't my vote. You can't then use the
page to vote as well.
But you voted on your own vote, and then you went and got all your friends.
I didn't get anyone. It was an open vote, baby.
So do you accept that on the comment section regarding Chris Whitty, not many people, who at least listeners of our podcast, want to shag him? Do you accept that?
I mean, I haven't seen the comment section recently.
Oh, you haven't seen the comment section?
Not recently.
So you just decided just to like do your own poll.
This fucking
but looking at the base results.
I like operating with current facts, and I can't say that I've checked recently enough to be sure. What I can say is that the poll results were clear. The poll results were clear. Legal votes counted.
The comment section was clearer.
I mean, it was less clear.
No, it was
less clear. It's less clear. And I'm waiting for my Chris Whitty t-shirts.
And I'm waiting for my wings, I was going to swear. Mofo.
Shout out Auntie. She's still listening, bro.
She's still listening.
Oh, mate.
Hello, Auntie.
Auntie FBI.
We always shout the intro. Let's try something different.
Oh.
This
could end
terribly.
What's it called? ASMR.
That's the crowd.
Running out of breath.
This is like ASMR, isn't it? Should we do a whole podcast one day? And like, is it ASMR? ASMR.
Yeah, it's ASMR.
Just eating cucumbers, tapping on the keyboard.
That's mukbang. Have you? Do you watch mukbang?
No.
Do I watch what?
Mukbang.
No.
One more time.
Mukbang.
What's
the
mukbang?
fuck is that?
We'll ask the poll. We'll do a poll on the page, no private pages.
Polls apparently don't count on our page.
If anyone watches
the results.
Mukbang is basically, it comes from like Japan and stuff, yeah. Okay. Where like you put it on YouTube now. It's basically all people get paid as YouTubers to eat on camera.
Oh yeah, that's a real thing.
It's basically like the noise that people find soothing. Like
that's literally the worst fucking noise in the world to me.
And they literally they'll have like spaghetti, noodles.
What the fuck are you eating over there?
Noodles.
A pee?
Noodles.
All right.
Noodles and that.
Proper thick udon over
so
there.
it's called mukbang. It's called mukbang.
Boys.
So things like ASMR, mukbang, they're like quite relaxing and therapeutic and like psychologically like. Can I be
vulnerable right now?
Can I be vulnerable right now? Can I?
Go for it. Yeah, we're here.
Go ahead.
Listeners, can I? Okay. Once, someone told me to try out, basically, if you're like alone and stuff and you just want to have like you want to eat your food but you want company, just put on like
you having a dinner date with someone in Japan on a pre-recorded video.
Just put on mukbang, yeah.
Is that what's happening? Is that what's happening here?
And someone's eating their food, yeah.
No.
And then you're eating your food, and then when your dinner's done, you just switch it off, innit? Like it's just calm. I've done it once, innit?
That might be the most Gen Z thing I've ever actually heard.
Yeah, you're one of them, man. You're the ops.
Live, face to face.
You're the ops.
I hate society. I don't want to talk to anybody.
You are the ops.
Well, you do. You want to eat your dinner
but
with
I want to eat with something I can just pause in it.
Right? That's mad.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't say I relate to that one, bro. But I'm glad you shared.
I'll share it, man.
I'm keen to move on from this.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Can move on.
I'll fucking do some noodles.
I'm gonna indulge, and I'm gonna watch a mukbang, and I will report back with findings.
It's a great word, by the way. Mukbang.
Yeah,
I don't like the name of it. It sounds like it's like related to some sort of.
It's like ordering brass from McDonald's.
yeah,
what?
Exactly. Brass.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like it's one of those things.
It's a mukbang, innit?
It sounds worse than what it is.
Yeah, it does sound terrible.
It's a mukbang.
A mukbang.
Yeah. Mukbang. How did we get there?
Shout out to all,
you led us there, bro.
yeah,
when whispering and like
ASMR.
ASMR.
Anyway,
yeah.
let me do the intro in ASMR. Welcome to all of our listeners. It's episode 11. 11.
Do you know what the German for 11 is?
He's fucking it up. He's fucking up the ASMR intro, isn't he? He does this a lot.
It's fine.
Today on the episode of This Getting Terribly, we have a lot of topics. But before we get into all of that, I just want to shout out all of our listeners.
Hey.
From episode 1 to episode 11.
Come on.
Is it 11 already?
It's 11 already.
Wow.
It's gone quite fuss.
Ooh. I ain't got nothing else to say.
Do you know how to say 11 in German?
Nope.
Elf.
Oh.
I thought that was quite funny.
Yeah.
Elf. That would have been funnier if
Like-
you said it in December during Christmas time.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say like the seminal Will Ferrell film. But how weird is it to call a number elf? It's quite strange.
Yeah. They must love Christmas, boy.
They're about it.
Shout out to all of our listeners. YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. That's at YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube. I'm not even shouting out YouTube just yet. Like, I think we need more of our YouTube people.
Everybody's got a fucking YouTube account.
Yeah,
just
everyone
go hit
uses-
subscribe.
just go
I
Just
actually
hit subscribe.
don't have a YouTube account.
Yes,
What?
you do.
I don't.
So yes, you do. I bet you do.
I don't. I've never signed up. I don't have a Gmail, right? I'm on live.com.
You've got a live.
I've got live.com. I'm a live guy. I've got a live email.
Why has he got a live?
Bruv, he's probably got a Lenovo like laptop as well.
I
Hold
do
on.
as well, though.
Firstly, don't
be
ever
rude,
talk
innit?
down
That's-
on a Lenovo
That's a
laptop.
corporate laptop.
That's
innit?
mad chat.
Oh, I'm getting attacked.
The
Watch your mouth,
Powerball
watch
thing,
your
the
mouth.
Powerball thing will forever be lit.
What?
Lenovo's.
Grow up in it. I had an
It's
email
alright.
before Gmail came about. Like,
Yeah.
You man use Lenovo?
Yeah, I got one from work.
Okay, work ones don't count, but you didn't personally go and buy yourself a Lenovo.
No,
innit?
They're quite slick though. They're quite slick. This one's just like
the Powerball thing in the middle.
it's not
Way
bad,
better than
bro.
a mouse.
It's not bad. It's
The
not
power was like a BlackBerry thing.
No,
not bad.
it's there's like a red button thing in the
middle, it's like
keyboard,
a
so you like
little
push with your
trackpad
finger
thing.
rather than using a whole
Yeah.
mouse pad.
That sounds kinda wavy still.
Anyway, back to what Zavi was saying. Everybody's got a YouTube account, apparently, except for Johnny. So make sure you hit and subscribe, hit follow on all of these things. It means you get the podcast as soon as it comes out. It means you don't have to wade through all the search engines and all of that. It comes directly to you. Hit the mailing list as well. Add your email to that because eventually we're going to be coming off all of these social network programs. Not very soon, but eventually we want to come directly to you even more. So email addresses are even more useful. Gentlemen, how the fuck are you?
Johnny, you go first.
Oh fuck it! I was trying to not. I'm all right, you know. It's been a bit of a week. Been fucking busy, like.
I'm glad you started actually because Zavi's had a bit of a week.
Well, yeah, hasn't he? We'll get into him in a bit. But this is about me.
All right, hurry up.
No, I was just grafting, man. Fucking working, losing weight, keeping fit. Do you know what I mean?
What's
Like
the weight situation saying right now?
down 6 kilos in a month. Come on,
Ooh.
Bang, bang.
come on,
Mukbang.
out here.
McBang bang. Hey.
Anywhere gang, orangutan.
Wow. What's the secret?
Stop running. This is an anti-running podcast here now.
So would you consider yourself slim thick?
Yeah, I'm juicy and holdable. That's what's up. Bro, I'm telling you, I quit running and I started doing weights instead. Not heavy weights, but like 25 kilos, the same 25 either on a barbell or a dumbbell, and that anaerobic goodness, and then a few sit-ups and bare lettuce.
I was going to say, did you change diet?
A little bit. Like portion control is the main thing, but honestly,
Yeah.
lettuce under everything. Jesus.
Even
How many-
burgers.
I mean, I probably had
Got to put
few-
lettuce in a burger. No?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But just maybe like marginally fewer burgers on the margin.
How
Or
many-
white meat. Quit red meat. I haven't eaten red meat for
Question
a
for
minute.
you,
Bro,
yeah?
like-
Is pork white meat or red meat?
Red
Pink meat, innit?
It looks white to me.
or pink? I think it's...
It's also not kosher, so I don't know. I don't touch that.
I don't know.
Of course, yeah.
We could... I don't know. I'm not actually
And
sure.
it's
I think
duck. And it's
pink.
duck red meat or
Yes.
white meat.
Red.
grey meat, isn't it?
Red.
Looks kind of grey.
Random. Sorry.
I'm going to get killed if I don't get this shit right. But anyway, yeah, man. So how many meals do you have a day?
Two.
Two.
So I do.
Are you big on breakfast and miss lunch, or the other way around?
No, I miss breakfast. I do the 12 till 8 thing.
Intermittent fasting.
Yeah, kind of 12 to 8.
I can't do that.
But
shit,
you know
bro.
what? So like every other white person in the country, I've got the big Sports Direct mug in my house.
Yeah.
So I fill that up with like a wham coffee, basically, and that's my breakfast.
Wow.
And then I force myself to go through to midday. But it works.
Shit.
Like it's not necessarily enjoyable, but if your target is to lose pounds, 12 to 8 works.
Yeah.
You can't eat like a fucking dickhead between 12 and 8.
Yeah.
But it works. 6 kilos in a month. It's not bad. And it's stayed
quite
off as well. It's not like starve yourself and it comes back
in a month, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot, man.
It's a lot. Zabby. Or shall I say, meanwhile in A&E.
Honestly.
Basket case over here, bro.
You got to break down the story.
So boom.
You got to break down the story.
So here I am.
I got a call. Now, let me start from this. I got a call. And when Zabby calls me, sort of after work hours during the week, there's always something going on.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Always something going on. There's
really
always a story. It's either a really, really bad story.
It's really good.
That just drops like my jaw dropping to the ground, or it's something hilarious.
And this was both.
Thankfully,
This was both.
It was
I mean,
kind of
scary.
It was kind of both, yeah. But mainly for me, pretty funny. I had to pretend I was worried, but like it's pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. Like, got a call, and Zab's like, "Rich, you ever had a situation where like the cotton bud just falls like wham in your ear?" I was like, "Shit, no. Take it away, Zab."
Yeah. So boom. So here I am. Yeah. So Sunday, I'm chilling, vibes in, got some D'Angelo on, Sunday vibes.
Chicken grease.
I listened to Voodoo.
Oh, okay.
So I'm chilling, listen to on that album, I listen to Devil's Pie. Just vibes. My Sunday, that's my Sunday song, isn't it?
Okay.
Got in the shower.
Ironic.
Come out of the shower. Why? Because of mukbang.
No, you're listening to devil songs on a Sunday, fam.
Oh yeah. The crowd at the back goes wild.
Nobody's faster than this lad.
It's not even my day. Like I do Saturdays. You guys, Sundays is yours for you.
Yeah, I know. Listen to Devil Pie on a Sunday. That'd be a sick bar if I was a rapper. But yeah, so then I shower. I've used my E45. I've like my body's all moisturized. The last application to my routine is cleaning my ears. So I basically got a cotton bud, yeah, and then I basically went to go and clean my ears. So I wasn't actually aggressive with it, like as I normally am.
How aggressive do you normally get, bro?
You don't have to justify yourself to me.
Yeah, no, I wasn't.
No,
Tell you what.
No, hold on. You have to justify.
I know what you're thinking, listeners, but I wasn't aggressive with the cotton bud.
No, you need to justify yourself to me, fam. How aggressive are you normally with
Like
the cotton
sometimes, yeah, I'll try and like put it in, yeah. And
are you a digger or a swirler?
No,
I'm not. I don't swirl it with the finger. I actually move it with my wrist.
So I move it with the wrist. But what I do as well, yeah. You see when you get from angle and I flick it.
Oh,
so like basically, you flick it a little bit, yeah. So like basically, you got earwax, yeah,
wax out into your bathroom.
No. It don't bring it out, but it just basically just pulls out any that's like hidden. Okay. Anyway, this cotton bud was weak.
Okay.
Yeah. So as soon as I've done it,
happy shopper cotton
as soon as I put it in, yeah, I felt like the stick part of it, and I'm thinking, where's the bud gone?
No.
Couldn't see the bud anywhere, but I didn't feel like. Then I thought, you know what? Let me try and get it out. So I've tried to get it out, but nothing's come out. I'm thinking, where the hell is this bud gone? And couldn't find it. But then I couldn't feel anything. Like it felt like nothing was in my ear.
Oh my days.
So then I'm chilling, thinking, okay. And then I tried to get it checked out on Monday. Couldn't see anything. And then I just thought, you know what? This could actually get bad. So like, I might need to just go to A&E and just check it out. So I've gone to A&E. They're laughing at me at the till.
It's never a good sign.
The woman's like, how could you...
Yo, motherfucker, we got 50,000 people dead from a pandemic. And you're here because your dumbass.
Our ICU is full to shit. We ain't got time for your fucking earbuds.
You stupid as you dumb. So then the lady's like, she's typing in my details. So Xavier, when's your date of birth? 92. 92. You should know by now that you should know by now that cotton buds aren't for your ears.
What?
What?
Yeah, so cotton buds aren't for your ears. The actual thing itself.
Sacrilege.
They're for cotton buds are for cleaning the eye. You should you got the white bits in your eyes.
That is horrible medical advice.
That's what your fingers are for. Fam.
No, cleaning your eyes or like makeup stuff.
How does one
basically
clean their
cotton buds are legit. They weren't made for your ears.
I'm not sure. I'm buying it.
Who is this doctor?
No. Dead serious. Everyone, like, apparently.
Who is this doctor?
I don't know, man. I forgot her name, man.
You will never treat me wherever
So
you
then
are.
basically, and then another little fun fact, while she's laughing, trying to hold her, like, holding her laughter, and so also, just a little tip, if you didn't know, if you hadn't this ready, that you shouldn't put anything in your ear that's smaller than your elbow. Yeah?
Who is this booky doctor?
No, but I heard that a couple people on my IG said the same thing. Like, apparently it's a thing. So then, but me, I clapped back right away.
What,
I was like,
put anything in your ear.
Like, basically anything smaller than this bit, like when you bend your elbow.
How big are people's ears, bro?
So then this is me. So as soon as she said that, yeah, I said to her, "What about your AirPods?"
Got him.
And then she was like, "Oh, I mean, these are different in a sense."
Are they dark?
Yeah.
So then I've gone round.
Cool.
So then I've gone round the corner.
You're strung off.
So then I've gone round the corner. I'm thinking I've seen a queue full of people, and I'm really prang as well because obviously pandemic and that. We're in a Panasonic, and I'm seeing loads of people.
Panoramic, bruv.
We're in a Panasonic, and I'm seeing loads of people. I'm thinking this is not it. And then the woman at that till, she was laughing at me as well, saying, "Oh, like, blah blah." But you're such like a lovely young man. Like, I'll try and see if I can get you sped up, basically.
Come on.
And then
So they got it out.
So they got it out, and basically, what was even funnier is that the lady who was laughing at me at the till, she was actually like a fairly new nurse,
Right?
And she actually, what's the word when they see you? Yeah, she basically saw me.
Okay.
I was seen by her.
Yeah.
And she was actually sort of getting trained on the job.
Okay.
So I'm thinking to myself, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, I've got this
never
thing.
fills you with confidence.
I've got this in my ear, and they're fully doing training like in front of me. This ain't a good sign.
But I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, I'm all good, man.
I'm glad that
I'm gonna have to jump because I have a bad story with a trainee. So I've got a degenerative patella. I've got a problem with my knee, and there was a doctor who was
That
seeing me.
explains why you've been so shit at football the whole time. I've known him. Anyway, carry on. No,
Mad
that's
chat.
not.
I'm
I'm not even gonna defend myself. So
No, please don't.
I
Please
need
don't
to.
do.
I don't need to. People know. People.
You actually did at football.
Was that a bite?
I've got a semi-pro coach just texted me whilst we're recording this, but it's fine. It is what it is. It is what it is.
It's a bite, isn't it?
There's levels to it. There's levels. But anyway, I got a degenerative patella, so I can't run on the road because it's bad for my leg. I got Ledley Kingney, basically, right? So I went to Homerton to figure out what was going on, and senior doctor and a trainee. And he was like, "What do you recommend?" So he was like quizzing her to do the questioning kind of thing.
Shit.
And she was like, "Well, we could have a look, maybe do an exploratory surgery." And he was like, "Okay, what are you looking to explore?" And she was like, "Well, we'd probably just cut the skin open.
Yep.
And then we would like maybe take a sample of the top bit of the bone, and then once we have a better understanding of the structure, we could stitch it back together and then recommend further surgery if necessary." And he was like, "Why would you not just send him for an MRI?"
I'm just imagining Johnny's face through this.
I was like, "The fuck
Wait.
you mean open me up?"
For the fact that she said probably, yeah, that sort of language, yeah, it don't cut it for me, bro.
Yeah. Doctor's talking about probably.
What do you mean probably?
He'll cut me up for a chance.
Let's just see what happens. Innit?
It was bad chat. Yeah, I'm always shook when I see a junior trainee. Like, obviously, I understand that you got to practice, but not on me, bro. Please.
Yeah,
Do you
for
know what I
real.
mean?
Yeah.
For real.
Anyway, no, I'm kidding. I'm playing, by the way. Big up. Like,
I'm not.
Everyone.
I'm not.
Anyway.
No. Fuck a trainee in certain situations. No.
Was this anti-junior doctor podcast?
Yeah, no. Allow it. I want pros. Come on. There's certain things that I just don't want a trainee. No. In other news, lads.
Whoa. How are you rich?
I'm so glad you asked. Right.
That was a trick question, wasn't it? Like
Look what I got.
What's that?
Oh my.
What the bamba?
My mum's got that.
Man got the
That's the
massage
one.
gun, innit?
Come on. It lights up.
This is how I'm doing, motherfucker.
What the fuck?
Wait. Ooh. Listeners, I am giving myself a massage.
It looks very weird on camera.
With my massage gun. And it feels fantastic.
Sounds like a vibrator, innit?
Yo, this shit could do damage, bro. This is like a vibrator for maybe like, I don't know, the Loch Ness Monster or something.
You're saying this like a vibrator but not a sponsor? No, don't cut that, fam. Don't cut that.
Yeah. You just press the middle button and then bruv, it's legit, bruv. I needed it. Like I've been working myself up into like bad postures this whole time, bad chair, working from home all this time, and like I kept on getting pushed the Instagram ads. I don't know why. They must know. Like I just love massages, and I got sent one. They're trying to push you all the Theragun stuff.
Now I want to
How much is it?
The Therabody ones that are like 400 quid and stuff. I just went on Amazon and I got one for 75 quid. I think the truth is that whoever made that shit didn't patent it, right? Because they're all over the market, and they are insane, bro. They're insane. Like, honestly, eyes rolling back. I've
always wanted one. I see the adverts. Bro,
75 quid. That one was 75 quid. I think it was down from 85 because Amazon gave me a random £10 voucher or whatever.
Take it.
They are fuego, bruv. They're fuego. Oh, they're wonderful.
Trust me,
they're wonderful.
My mum got one for Christmas, but now it's at the house. Now it's at the house thing. So when I'm over, I think.
Yeah. You got to get it done. Anyway, boys. What do you might want to start? Because there's been quite a few things going on in the last couple of weeks.
You lead, we follow, as always. You lead, we follow.
Yeah, like ranging from
lot of shit going on tonight, as Busta Rhymes famously said before
we
just
start off with Uncle Ye, actually.
Ah, shit.
My Ye is different to your Ye.
I didn't want to. Dripping the sauce, dripping saucy.
Couldn't resist.
What are we talking about, Zaf, for the listeners who may not know? The listeners who are living under a rock.
No, who are living a nice, happy life away from the fucking bullshit that is Kanye and Kim Kardashian.
You shut your mouth, boy.
Kim Kardashian
and Kanye Amari
West have filed for a divorce 6 years after signing their nuptials.
No way. Who saw that coming?
Moment of silence.
What a shocker.
You didn't sound that shocked.
What, honestly?
No, nobody's shocked. I think I called it like when they first got married, I said she is going to eat him and spit him back out.
Who do you reckon was the first NBA player to slide into the DMs?
James Harden, without a doubt.
Do you reckon?
Without a doubt.
That's gumption.
100%. And I reckon he's already been in the family, I reckon.
I'm going to go for Gordon Hayward.
Who that?
He's the only white guy in the NBA.
Okay. I think Kim's track record might suggest that the gringos
variety is the spice of life, baby.
May not.
Which one's James Harden again? I'm trying to Google him. Oh, him, yeah, the bid.
Don't know.
Well, do you reckon James Harden? Like, do you reckon he might have a chance?
I think he's been in the family.
What do you mean he's been in the family?
I'm not a gossip.
You mean literally been in the family?
I think he's been
in the
somewhat in the family.
No, but do you think? But do you think that James Harden has like he could have a chance with? Like, I don't
know if he's got a chance, but he probably sent a little DM to Johnny's question.
First DM.
I'm not saying I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, but
baby, I'm sorry to break up, man. If you need a shoulder to cry on,
you need a shoulder. But yeah, 6 years.
I'm a lot taller than Kanye. Mine will be bigger than his are.
Yeah, 6 years later, we don't need to dwell on this story too much, but just let's walk down memory lane. Yeah, they're divorcing. It's actually quite sad in my opinion because when they're divorces, is like you always have to think about the kids, and they got 4 beautiful kids.
They got 4.
Yeah, they got 4 beautiful kids who they brought into this world in a short marriage.
Poor woman.
In the grand scheme of things, and I worry about them. I don't worry about them too much because obviously
I think they're gonna be all right.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be okay with their parents' worth a combined total of like I don't know.
Kanye's gonna get rich off the divorce, bro.
2.1 billion. Or
whatever. Kanye get rich of it.
Who's worth more, the Kardashians or Kanye?
I think maybe individually, Ye's worth more than Kim.
I think they're probably.
Do you think?
I think they're probably a little bit equal. I think they're pretty fairly equal.
I reckon they definitely had a prenup.
Kanye West had that moment where he was supposedly in debt, and obviously he's got huge success from the Adidas stuff, and obviously he's a musician, super successful in that, right, and all of his other business endeavors. The Kim Kardashian enterprise is film or series, TV series. It's makeup, it's underwear, it's all that stuff. They are a walking, talking money machine. So, but I do think they're sort of even. I think they're sort of even. They definitely helped each other. It's a classic case of a marriage where 2 people who were rich got together and just became stupid rich, kind of like Jay-Z and Beyonce, right? That marriage power, that marriage monetary building. So I think it's actually pretty split down the middle. My question around is, who do you reckon, like, in the grand scheme of this whole thing, who do you think's coming out of that, like, with their head held high? Like, who do you think is coming out of that marriage thinking, I gave my all? Because there's a lot of people who are like, oh, another one. That's Kim Kardashian's 3rd marriage, and she's only 40
years. Marriage?
She's only 40 years old, and she's getting her 3rd.
Kim is 40 years old.
Yeah, bro, she's
40.
What?
I knew that because she did the whole like.
Kim is freaking 40 years old.
It's been a pandemic and it's been really tough for everyone. But I went to a private island with everyone that I know, and honestly, it's been difficult.
I kind of fucked with that though, to be honest. Like,
that's
but she's 40. I thought she was like maybe like 35 or
no,
30.
Yeah, no, she's
33 or something.
She's 40 years old, 4 kids and 4 marriages. Well, this is her 3rd. She was with.
Was she married to Ray J?
No, she wasn't married to Ray J. But she got with some dude called Damon something, and then she got with the that dude where the marriage only lasted like a year or some shit, and then Kanye West came thereafter.
Maybe she loves a party. That's what's up. She loves.
I don't know, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel bad for her. She is, and it's not the popular opinion because not a lot of people hold a lot of love for Kim Kardashian because of how she made her money and because of, you know, this perception that she constantly appropriates and all this other stuff. But like in terms of the marriage, man, like I feel for her because it's like, I'll put it to you like this: when you marry someone, right, or when you get with somebody, you obviously open yourself up and accept that there's going to be a great deal of compromise and there's going to be a great deal of change. People grow together, and sometimes they grow apart, right? But one thing is that like, if somebody dramatically changes from the person that you married, like it's fair if you say, you know what, this ain't what I signed up for, innit?
Yeah,
this ain't what I signed up for. Like Kanye West, yes, has always been erratic. He's always been a bit bonkers. But in the last 3 to 4 years, like he has taken it to another fucking level of bonkers. Like if we want to start with slavery was a choice, if we want to start with the failed presidential bid, even things like the Sunday service stuff, like, and it's like, because it's like many people will be like, oh, you know, he turned to God. Why is that a problem? But it's like, yes, you turned to God, but there was something about his approach in turning to God which was actually quite weird when you think about it. He became almost obsessed with being a leader of like a cult, like it became a following.
He's got like a Yeezy Christian Academy.
Yeah, and it became very, very weird. And I remember like in the clips that you see circulating around Instagram and stuff where I think they had a disagreement because of the way that like Kim wanted to dress North, which is their eldest daughter, and like Kanye West was going at her saying, my daughter won't dress that way, blah, 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 blah. Why were you doing this, da, da, da. And it's kind of just like, yeah, fair enough. Parents are allowed to make that decision together. Dad's allowed to be a bit concerned about what his daughter dresses. It's fine. It's your decision. But again, like if you marry somebody who didn't have those views before and then all of a sudden overnight, like
they switch.
That's fucking tough, bro.
I don't know, man. I kind of feel like as someone with a reasonable amount of experience of mental health in the family,
dating Kardashians,
as well as that. I do kind of feel like there's a bit of a manic element to Kanye, and I say that in like the most sensitive way possible. Like he's got a bad mix of someone who's probably got borderline narcissistic personality disorder.
Yeah, borderline.
Who then well,
definitely is one.
I'm trying to be nice, right? A borderline narcissistic personality disorder who then falls into a depression and is like kind of likely to manifest itself through either bipolar or manic. I think you call manic bipolar these days, but it seems like the whole church, like there are a lot of people turn religious and that's fine, but kind of like the evangelical nature of his conversion mixed with the narcissism was very manic. There seemed to be a lot of mania to it, like recording an album on a plane just because you can kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough. But
who's going to believe it though? For me, it's quite tough to hear all of that.
We did that. We've done this before.
Yeah, I know we've done it before, but like for me, I kind of get what you're saying, and on the face of it, if we believe everything that he said, everything you're saying is perfectly right.
Yeah,
but I don't personally believe everything we saw with regards to his manic episodes and his bipolar disorder and all this other stuff. I just think
to go back to the original question, who's going to come out better? Like, really, what I hope for, culturally speaking, is that the world resets to an era of television where, like, Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie are the leaders of gossip TV. Like, when I was growing up, Kim Kardashian was basically the wardrobe girl, and everyone would walk around just being like, "Do you love it?
Do you love it?
Do you love it?
That's so hot.
Do you love it? That's so hot." And really, like, I just want the world to go back to a place where, like, fucking normalize talking like Nicole Richie. Do you know what I mean?
It's almost as if you're reading my mind. Like, I watched the Britney Spears documentary last night, and Paris Hilton was a speaker on it. She's looking kind of high.
Bruv, this woman, she's a smart woman.
She's looking kind of high.
She's a smart woman.
To this date.
Like, Paris Hilton was never really my thing. She had this like weird hexagonal face and a really wiry body frame, innit? Like Nicole Richie was kind of like, she was kind of a little bit more saucy. She looked like a real goer. You know what I mean? She looked like a goer. Like she went. Paris really wasn't really for me, but now she's looking alright, bruv.
But you know, she spent like 10 years playing dumb because it was like part of the brand and the image. Like,
smart.
she smashed it.
She go to like I won't say Harvard, but she went to somewhere decent.
But she's legit ran successful businesses.
And then she did like a DJ residency in Vegas.
Yeah, that comes with the fame, right?
You know how girls look when they're like not really good at DJing, but they just want to be DJs. They're just like behind the table and they're just like turning a few knobs. And it looks all sexy and stuff, but it's just like, You killed that mix again, honey. You ain't played DMX yet, babe. No, but for real though, like I remember when he was on his presidential campaign and he had that what people would describe as like a manic episode where he started talking about like Kim Kardashian almost made us abort North and all this other stuff. And it's just like, bro, like, and then he went on Twitter and he called the mum like Chris Jong-un, which is wild. He called the family like white supremacist. And it's just like, bro, like, Kim ain't really a white supremacist, bro. She's like in the White House, like trying to free a whole bunch of black people for like really, really like long, unfair, lengthy jail terms.
Aren't they also Armenian Christians who would have fled Turkish persecution?
Possibly.
Yeah. I mean, if they're Armenian Christians, then they would have fled Turkish persecution. Which is how they ended up in America in the first place.
I'm not too sure on how tight they are to their Armenian background or whatever. I don't really know the story there, but like, it's. I'm
not buying the white supremacist thing.
Yeah, no, I'm not really.
I mean, I'm big time buyer of the cultural appropriation thing. Like, they've all essentially gotten rich from having sufficient plastic surgery to become racially ambiguous. That's mad chat. But are they white supremacists? Like, probably not, because they make all their money off black people. So it'd be weird.
I can't really argue with that.
I mean, I don't know, man.
I can't really argue with that claim.
I think
but I do think it's a bit too deep.
I think the Kardashians, though, there is definitely a pattern of, it's not white supremacists, but like there's definitely a pattern of having a bit of a taboo outlook on.
Well, they all grow up as skinny white girls, and then they all turn into mixed race chicks by the time they hit 25.
Courtney's the white supremacist.
What?
She's the only one who doesn't like darkies.
You know what's so crazy though?
Scott Disick's got this chat though.
Scott Disick is a G.
No.
He's a G.
Scott Disick is my noggin.
King Disick.
Yo, but the hood still loves me. That was one of my favorite memes when I was growing up, before memes were even a thing.
Courtney's the white supremacist. She's the only one who doesn't like us.
Yeah,
all of the other sisters, we the mother, goddammit. She took a little rumble in the jungle.
Basically, if you've never fucked a black guy, you're a white supremacist.
Hell yeah. We make the rules. If you want other opinions, go to the other podcasts.
But you know what's so crazy though?
Nah, for
Why
real.
is it that, like, you know, the maddest glow up from the maddest like transformation is Chloe?
Chloe?
Is it Chloe?
Kylie.
No, the maddest. I won't say maddest transformation is like I think she's hot. I don't really dig her, but like in terms of how Khloe Kardashian looked before, she's one that looks like OJ basically.
Bro, her transformation
like
was not
OJ.
Kylie's. Yeah.
No,
they say.
I'm just trying to say her back in the day versus now.
I think I know what you're saying.
It's because she looked more like manly and stuff before and like ogreish, and now she looks like she looks like she's glammed up a bit.
Yeah,
and apparently she's not even that tall, but she looks mad.
They're all tiny, aren't they?
She looks hella tall on TV.
They're mad small, but everybody looks like sort of.
But
tall.
Kylie's one is scary, bro.
Yeah. On that subject, shout out Jordan Woods, shout out Chloe Bailey, for no reason at all.
Shout out Travis Scott.
Shout out Halle Berry.
Why he said Travis Scott? Like why?
Yeah, there's no need for that.
Why? I said Chloe Bailey.
Yeah, there's a clear,
and Jordan Woods. God damn it.
And I said Halle Berry. There's a clear pattern that would.
God damn it. You said Travis Scott.
Shout out Drake.
Edit that out.
Why not?
Drake is someone who's definitely probably been in Kim's DMs.
Oh, do you think?
Yeah, he don't like Kanye ever. So.
Oh, does he not? Is that a thing?
No, they're not cool.
Berry songs that you hear.
Yeah,
Kiki, do you love me? That was the diss track.
Yeah,
was it?
They're not cool anymore. But for real though, it's always sad. I think divorces are always sad.
It's always sad. Sad for the kids.
It's sad for the kids, and ultimately, like, you know, as much as we don't care for super high profile celebrity marriages and divorces, especially from families that have managed to monetize everything that is sacred about family life and personal life and all of this stuff, as much as it shouldn't really be of great interest. I don't know, it is a little bit sad, and you know, it's just another example of just, you know, marriage and the whole sanctity and sacrament. It's a sacrament, right, of marriage, just not really meaning a great deal anymore.
I thought it was kind of mad how
it
was running on the front of BBC News last Friday, like at a time when like was still like, okay, no, nobody wants to hear anything more about COVID, but like COVID's fucked.
Do you not feel
the economy's fucking falling apart? Brexit's a fucking shit show. Joe Biden's already bombed the Middle East after being in office for 2 weeks, and a whole bunch of other shit's happening. And BBC News is running with Kim and Kanye. Like, come, we need to move on from that. Let TMZ do them gossip ones there. It's not news, innit? It's patter.
Speaking of TMZ, shout out Tiger Woods. We are so glad
Amen.
that you are okay, somewhat okay, and alive. When that news hit, Oh my God, my mind went to Kobe and I got shook.
About a year later as well, no? Same time.
I was looking at the calendar like, this is too close. I was shook. And then the thing about TMZ reporting shit, bro, is when they report shit, man, it's always fucking followed by death. Like, when they report something, I get nervous. It was Nipsey, it was all these people. It's always TMZ.
But they're always there as well. I don't know how they do it. They're always there.
Bruv, they've got everything. Lady Gaga's like dog walker got shot.
Bro, do you know what's mad?
Yeah, that was bare random, bro.
And they jacked the 2 dogs. And TMZ had the footage. Like, how?
Do you know what's mad is that all the headlines have been like, Lady Gaga's dogs are stolen out for a walk. And they totally ignore the fact that some poor fuck got shot 4 times for the sake of it, bro. They're the headline, not the brother who's now fucked. Like,
so crazy. Do you know, the funniest thing about that story is like, they didn't get away with all the dogs.
What?
One of the dogs actually ran away.
That is so joke.
So where's that dog?
I don't know what I found. That's so funny.
Where's that dog?
They found it. So the dog Jet, like the dog heard the blacker, and was like,
I'm out of here.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, fuck y'all.
Fuck y'all. Man, fuck y'all. I'm out. Yeah, so apparently the 3rd dog like dashed.
I don't get off snacks for this shit.
I'm out. This shit. I don't even like Lady Gaga music.
Man, fuck Gaga, man.
Fuck Gaga. Nah, but for real, yeah, dog got away and then apparently resurfaced in the area after the robbers had got away with the 2 dogs. She's offering $500,000 to get them things back.
I'm going.
Brother, where's my ticket?
Bro,
because we can get Lady Gaga's dogs and Lil Uzi Vert in the same trip, fam.
Swear
Fam, and back in the PJ.
We're coming rich.
We're coming back on a private jet,
coming
fam.
back rich, puppy.
Swear down. But we're going to hear more about Kanye West and Kim's dirty laundry because no doubt with their new show, because they're spinning out of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, which ended recently, and they're going to have their own new show, more money, more in depth. So I'm imagining this is going to drag on quite a bit, and we're going to hear quite a few things about Kanye that probably we don't necessarily care to.
Can I make a prediction?
Whose show is it? Sorry,
go on. The Kardashians have another show.
I thought you meant Kim and Kanye.
I thought the Keeping Up with Kardashians or Keeping Up with the Kardashians ending was going to be the end of their sort of TV reality shit, but apparently not. What was I thinking?
I don't think that this divorce is going to go through.
Ooh, plot twist.
Were you just thinking about this, or were you?
You think it's for the show?
I don't know. This is entirely on the spot. Like, there's no deep thought has gone into this.
I've seen your brain tick when you.
Filing for divorce is a real thing. Like, it's filed.
Yeah, okay. Like, if you're on a normal wage, it's quite expensive. But these people aren't normal, right?
I feel you.
Like, how much money can they make from pretending to get divorced? They did this before, right? Like, they pretended to break up a couple of years ago and generated a shit ton of publicity.
I didn't know that.
Like, the last time they were like divorce rumor headlines, it was nuts. And then they had another kid. Oh, right?
Bet.
I don't know. Fuck it. Why not? You got to make a loose bet every now and again. It's not going to go through.
They're not
going
worried
enough.
Yeah.
I'm not betting with Johnny on anything. Your bets mean nothing to me. You're dead to me. Anyway,
Well, because you lose, and then
his bets mean nothing on these streets.
They ain't wearing their rings and stuff, I guess. But
yeah,
that can be a stunt as well. But anyway,
good luck to them, man. Quick word on Harry and Meghan going on Oprah. Thoughts?
They're podcast ops, man. Fuck them.
You know what? Yeah, listen, they got to get it. They got to get it by any means necessary now, innit? Like, they fully cut their ties, innit? So listen, they got a jug, yeah.
Bruv, cash it in, baby.
Yeah, cash it in, baby.
Cash it in, baby.
All of it, fam.
Cash.
100%. That baby needs to be fed.
Did you see the thing with him and James Corden? That's now it's going to be dated by the time.
I saw a clip of it today.
The man on top of a bus in LA.
He basically says something like, "I'm more comfortable with people thinking that The Crown is closer to the truth."
No. He didn't say that. He didn't say that.
That's basically what he said.
No, he said, I'm more comfortable with people watching The Crown because they're aware it's fiction.
But before he said that line, he said something about it's obviously not fully accurate, but so he's kind of basically saying that like this isn't completely off the mark. And that's when he went on to say what you just said. Yeah, exactly.
He said it's based on truth.
Based on truth, exactly. So he said that he'd rather like people watch The Crown and believe that that's closer to fiction, even though it's not, than the stuff that's in the press that isn't factual, that is being mooted as being factual.
Yeah, maybe.
And I read in between. I feel you, but like I read between that because you know Harry's dying to let the fucking secrets out, bro. He's dying to get it out.
But it's also it's proper dark because like RT, like if you actually sit down and deep it as a human being, imagine Netflix make a fucking blockbuster documentary about your mum dying, bro.
Facts.
And you have to keep watching it over and over again, let alone it happening again with your wife and it happening again with your kids. Like, that's totally secondary. Just the fact that Netflix made a fucking blockbuster about your mum getting dragged into a tunnel and put up a wall, like, that's bleak, man.
Yeah, man,
poor geezer. I don't blame him for retreating.
For real.
You play your cards. And you know what the geezer has done as public service?
Facts.
Set up the Invictus Games. Okay, like, he served his country. You can question the merits of that. But he went, He's come back. He's done public work.
Yeah.
I think he's a good heart. He's a good heart.
Piers Morgan, you saggy fucker. Just shut up, rude
Yeah,
boy.
but he's definitely... he's obviously not William's brother.
Not doing it. We're not doing it.
He's obviously not.
We're not
What?
doing
He's obviously
it.
not.
We're not doing it.
What do you mean? They look alike.
Shout
No,
out
they don't.
James Hewitt.
No. Let my man talk.
Shout out James Hewitt, but we're not doing it.
No. Let man talk. I want to hear this.
We're not doing it.
I want to hear this gossip. Go on.
He's not Carlos's kid, bruv. That's
He really lives under a cocoon, this one. He ain't heard this fucking rumor before.
we're gonna have to do a whole conspiracy episode because you've got
I love
the moon
conspiracies.
landing.
Yeah,
I've got this one.
We should do a conspiracy
We'll do a
episode.
conspiracy
That'd be
episode.
fucking fire,
Yeah, I'm
by
into
the way.
that.
That'd be fire.
Yeah, but
That'd be so
this one's
fire.
facts. Like like RT.
Don't say it's
RT.
facts, Johnny.
RT.
Don't say it's
Hold on.
facts.
There's no way you can
please.
have two brothers
I
with
beg you.
such differing hairlines, let alone colours. It's all right. You can have a blonde brother and a brunette brother. That's fine. You can't have one brother whose hairline is somewhere near like his shoulders and the other one who's got a glorious mane of ginger hair. It's not. I don't believe it. They're not brothers. Basically, Diana was rumoured to be in with this army geezer called James Hewitt, who was kind of part of the establishment. Apparently, she was boshing him around the time 9 months before Barry comes out. So that's the deal.
I only know about melanin genetics.
We're going to have MI5 fucking round next time we record.
I'm going to have to take your word for it because...
Yo, the baby, yeah?
Listen, have you ever met two brothers from a melanated family where one's got a full head of hair and the other one's bald?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I have.
No way. Like 3 years apart. Mm-hmm. You're lying.
I got family.
That doesn't fit my narrative, so you're lying.
You're lying,
no,
fool.
bro.
And you know what? As well,
Yo.
you're fucking racist, bro.
No, big mad thing. I got family, like 2 brothers, and they're like 3 years apart. One of them's got like a full set of head, and the other one's bald, fam.
No way.
And you're wearing a nice lace front right now as well, a little wig
You like it?
as well. It's quite nice, mate. It's really nice. Is that Indian or what?
Front lace weave, bro.
Is that Indian or?
Is
that Indian hair or?
No, it's Brazilian.
Oh, I feel you. Shout out Brazilian. Shout out Brazilian listeners. We have none. We have no Brazilian listeners.
For the podders.
No. Johnny, tell us what's happening in the land of COVID.
Well, not much. I don't know. What do you mean what's happening in Landico? What kind of fucking segue is that,
We got some news. We got some
Oh,
news this week.
yeah, what we're allowed out. Freedom and them.
news.
Freedom and them, yeah.
Free Bobby Schmurder.
So
and
free Bobby Schmurder,
and free the UK.
Come
free
on.
the UK.
So what is it? March 29th, we're allowed to kick ball again, basically, if you can. That Rich, don't worry about that. We're allowed to do like outdoor
Johnny's
gatherings.
Seen me play as well.
Oh yeah, I got him.
Johnny's seen
I
me
got him.
play as
No,
well.
I got him.
Yeah, he got me.
Yeah, I got him.
A bit.
Who's the deadest at YouTube? Be honest.
It is what it is, isn't it?
Come on, man.
There's levels.
You run up and down.
We can provide credentials.
Johnny, cut the shit. Cut the shit.
No,
Johnny,
bruv,
cut the
there's
shit.
Credentials.
Johnny, cut the shit, bro.
Puppy, credentials available on request.
Can you tell them about me and football, please?
What? It's not. It's not a very long story.
You seem mad competitive on the pitch. You seem like a no chill type of guy.
Oh man,
he is a no chill type of guy. That's true. He is a no chill type of guy. He is a no chill type of guy.
Get serious on the pitch.
you gotta see me play.
Realize it's not a game. Realize that
He doesn't. He doesn't play. I'll give him that. He doesn't play.
I don't play with nobody.
But there's levels to the thing, and Rich can't beat him. But anyway, the point is that we're allowed out. March 29th. We're allowed. That's the rule of 6. We're allowed to bev with people in the park, basically. And then April 12th, I think beer gardens open.
Hey!
And then June 21st is when all social distancing restrictions expire.
There is going to be so much uncontrolled.
Check this.
Do it right. Do it good.
June 21st.
That's my soundtrack when I'm out there,
is
bro.
a Monday. June 21st is a Monday. Things expire. June 22nd, England play against the Czech Republic at 8 o'clock.
Feel you.
Madness. RT, if I'm in the pub with you, I'm licking your face, fam. I'm getting fucking battered,
Johnny,
bruv.
you cannot.
I'm licking your face, fam.
You can't. That's exactly how we went into this shit in the first place. No licking of faces.
I
saw a video.
I'm glassing someone. I'm fucking having it. Are you mad? Haven't been to the pub to watch England for like 18 months. I'm fucking getting it, bro. Czech Republic, shit game as well. I don't care, bro. I'm having it. I'm going, don't take me home.
Is this a white
Please
thing?
don't take me home.
Is this a white
I
thing?
just don't want to go to work. I want to stay here, drinking all the beer. Please don't take me home. You guys, fucking hate.
But what do they say about podcasts? Yo, what do they say about podcasts?
What do you mean?
I'm not going to have a liver by the 30th of June, bruv. I don't know.
When can we let's hang out again?
There's going to be so much uncontrollable sex and mistake babies.
It's going to be mad.
Back end of this year.
RIP the maternity units of the NHS.
Bruh, maternity units.
Circa March 2022.
Q1 2022. Q2 2022.
Mazzolini.
Bruh, if you want to invest in any stock, just get into anything that's to do with babies.
Get long pampers.
Or like Bumble and that.
Go and pamper yourself and invest in Bumble too. Mad pampering. Just invest in babies. Basically. That shit's going to shoot.
It's going to pop off.
Imagine everyone's just going to be like, yeah, may as well. Literally. People are going to be out on these streets and being like, I'm not saying no to anything ever again.
Imagine by June, you might even be worried about the next lockdown coming. You're just going to get it in one time RT.
Fuck it.
Off we go. Hampstead
every single listener, right? If you've ever been rejected by somebody who's still in your phone book, right? Somebody's turned down your advances. When we're allowed to get out again, text them. I guarantee they reply.
You be getting a lot.
I guarantee you get what you want.
Yo, you be getting a lot.
Waiting for a girl for 4 years.
Yeah,
now's your chance.
Now is your chance.
Now's your chance.
You be getting a lot of hey big heads. When we gonna hang out?
I listened to this song and it's so funny. It reminded me of your mum. The toxic one, the old back to the ex text.
Second text. So how was your mum?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was my mum.
Not your mum, bro.
I can tell by the way Zabi's face changed that he thought you were dissing his mum.
What did she do, man? Allow her, man.
No, but for real, the date that's most important to me is May 17th when we can fucking fly, like when we can go somewhere.
Come on.
Out of the country.
Well, obviously, this goes back to the first episode. Certain man are local.
Yeah, I mean, but like
certain man are global.
But for real, I need to get out to Sweden first of all to get my shit, because since changing roles at work, innit, and since the lockdown from last year, still don't have my stuff. I've got to go get my stuff out there. And
if you need help, let me know. I'll carry your bags.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'll come.
I might need help.
I'll come to Sweden if I have to.
And to be honest, I've got a plan for when we next go to Sweden. If we can all go, I've got a few people that I really want us to get over there on the podcast so we can speak about shit, including a young girl who I know who started the BLM movement for Sweden over there. I want to speak to her about it because the racial situation in Sweden's fairly particular. It's very specific, not overtly racist, but there's some problems like under the surface.
We'll do that.
Yeah. So yeah, speaking of BLM, did you man see what one of my favorite footballers, right? One of my favorite footballers,
baller.
Wilfried Zaha had to say about the taking of the knee before games. Did you see it?
I saw a bit of it, but
yeah.
Catch us up.
Yeah.
So yeah, as everybody knows, unless you've been living under a rock, ever since George Floyd coincided with the pandemic and the stopping and the ending of all sort of elite sports, when football returned, it would appear that there was a lot of action and a lot of promises made that we're going to try and stamp this out of football. We're going to try and eradicate racism from the world. All the corporations coming out of the woodwork saying, we're going to be more diverse. We're going to be more inclusive, blah, 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 blah. All the stuff you'd expect, right? Given the climate that we're living in, given the times that we're living in. Football, in particular, took a specific stance in that they obviously piggybacked on the famous symbol of anti-police brutality, anti-racism, which is taking the knee, which started by Colin Kaepernick, right? Okay. And we don't need to tell you or the listeners what that meant for Colin Kaepernick's career immediately after doing it. Thereafter, when he essentially had to stop playing, was released, wasn't able to sign up for anybody, was blackballed, had to take the NFL to court. There was there was collusion amongst all of the NFL owners and so on and so forth. He took an out-of-court settlement to bury the case. We still don't know how much he was given, which is still an issue for me, but that's not the point today. Fast forward to where we are last year, and obviously when football restarted, every single match has the referee blowing the whistle at the start of the game, which is followed by all 22 players and managers and staff and referees taking the knee for what is literally...
It's 9 seconds. It's for the same amount. It's representing the amount of time George Floyd.
Yes, 8 seconds. Yeah, 9 seconds, right? Yeah. Most players have been getting on with it. Like, that's fair to say. Most managers have got behind it. The majority of Premier League footballers and managers are black or aren't black. And everybody supported it. Most people, when given an opportunity to speak about it, have spoken about it. Even if they're players in places that aren't necessarily racially diverse, like Burnley, where there was that massive controversy about, the White Lives Matter helicopter message that went over the
which the club condemned.
Which the club condemned, right? Everybody is in unanimous support of this movement. So imagine my face when one of my favorite footballers, somebody who, you know, I've always sort of seen as being like proud of his blackness, proud of being black, and etc. etc.
Binned England to go and play for Ivory Coast.
Binned England to go and play for Ivory Coast. Basically comes out and says, I'm not doing it anymore. Wilfried Zaha basically said that he felt that the gesture was degrading and that it was done to tick boxes. And then there were some other players, including Ivan Toney, who's a baller from Brentford, right? Who said that the players are being used as puppets in taking a knee. Wilfried Zaha basically went on to say, it's degrading for us to have to take the knee. Why do I have to take the knee to show that black people matter? Then he went even further by saying, and I'm not going to be wearing Black Lives Matter messaging on my shirts, which is another thing that all footballers have had to do recently, because again, it's degrading. I was livid.
Say why, sis?
How dare you, bro? Like, how dare you? How dare you?
Yeah.
Your inconvenience is literally amounts to 9 seconds at the start of every single game. A message on a shirt that you wear every single game, that you sweat in and then you chuck to the ground at the end of every single game, because it doesn't really mean a great deal to you.
Yeah.
And you feel uncomfortable supporting a movement which has such an important purpose because you believe that this is the only thing that's being done. Now, if you believe that taking a knee has run its course, in many respects, I kind of agree. Because ultimately we could have a situation where we do this until the end of time. So maybe having a time limit on it makes sense. I'm not going to argue with it. But the reality is that we are still, especially given the recent climate where we're getting footballers again being attacked on social media racially for every single mistake they're being made.
Facts.
Right? You've picked this moment. You've picked this moment to say, oh yeah, by the way, this is degrading. I don't want to do it anymore. Some footballers
have more money in a sense.
And I'm not going to ever say shut up and play ball like fucking Fox News would say about basketball players when they want to get, you know what I mean? Like they'd say about LeBron. I'm not going to say that. But I think Wilf, when he said that, probably think he was deeper in his mind than it came out because because I was genuinely quite appalled by it.
Yeah, I was quite shocked as well, to be fair.
I'm sorry that the blood, sweat and tears and the institutional racism that manifests itself in poverty and police brutality and all of this stuff that people actually have to experience. I'm sorry that that's so far removed from your reality that your only inconvenience is taking a knee for 9 seconds before a game.
Before you get to kick ball for 80
Before
grand.
you get to kick ball. 80 grand if you're Wolf, bruh. That's probably half his salary.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
He's Crystal Palace's main dog.
Yeah.
They've had to secure him there because everybody wanted him. Let's be honest. Like he's earning bags and taking a knee. Something that the kids need to see every single week. They need to be reminded every single week. They have to be. Every single week that we matter. And you're like, well, nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. Well, bro, nobody ever said that the approach towards eradicating racism wasn't going to be a holistic, multi-pronged approach. But you have to understand that this one thing that you're doing is one of those prongs. It's one of those approaches.
For sure.
We attack it on the ground level, we attack it at the institutional level, and we attack it at the fucking everyday level. Sorry.
No, honestly, I think it's one of those things where like the statement that he wanted to put out by not doing, not taking the knee, I think probably in his mind, or maybe the people around him who are yes men, probably gassed him up a bit. Or like maybe he thought it was a bit, he was being a bit more woke in a sense than what he actually was. Just got to pray for them, man. There.
For me, it's like from an outsider's perspective, right?
Yeah.
The thing that's concerning is that it feeds into the successful conflation of anti-racism as a movement in general and Black Lives Matter as a political organization, right? So like, is it legit to have concerns about Black Lives Matter, the pseudo-Marxist, anarchist political organization? Yeah, it probably is. Yeah, it probably is, right? Like you can be of any political denomination and not want to be a Marxist. That's entirely fair. But what has happened is that right-wing commentators and all kinds of political dickheads have campaigned from the very beginning to associate taking a knee with Black Lives Matter to specifically undermine the anti-racist protest movement itself at its core. And to now have such a high-profile black footballer get into it is only going to feed the narrative. And that's the first thing that happened. All these like shit Twitter accounts like Turning Point UK, whatever.
You saw that too? Oh my God.
We're coming from the offset saying, well, there you are. There's another black geezer.
The type of people to put like pro far right, pro Brexit in their bio were like rallying behind Wilf. Like, yeah, you're right, mate. Finally, a good one. But he gets it.
This is the thing. This is the thing where like, okay, like, so it's a different thing to like black MPs in the Conservative Party, the Republican Party. Like you can hold genuine, wider political beliefs regardless of your skin color. But where this is, I think, more controversial is that Wilf will be used as a black man to disprove the need for anti-racist protest in general.
Exactly.
And that's dangerous. That's dangerous. And like you said, Rich, it's 9 seconds of inconvenience. And the Premier League is probably one of the most powerful products this country has.
Yep.
People, hundreds of millions of people per game see that all over the world, let alone in this country. And it sends a message about what kind of society we are, what kind of country we want to be, etc., etc. But more importantly, it reinforces a message to a younger generation who watch football that, you know, their heroes don't stand for this shit. Yeah. And when they see one of their heroes who actually is kind of ambivalent to it, it gives a tiny crack in the door.
Bro. Yeah. And they said, like, I watched something on TV the other day, like a BT Sport documentary, where basically the study says, and you've probably heard this as well, that the modern day football fan isn't as obsessed with teams as he is with players. They are more obsessed with players in sport than teams. So people idolize Mbappe more than they do PSG. They idolize Pogba more than they do United, the younger generation. People like us who watch football all of our lives, we're about the team. You know, we go to the games, we understand the team, we know all the backroom stuff.
You know what?
The younger generation don't. So what you're saying is spot on, and it's even more important because the youths growing up, especially people who are from Wilfried Zaha's background, from his ends or whatever, they idolize him.
That's like my little brother and that's my little brother and Pogba now, but before it was Balotelli.
Yeah.
So my brother used to support whoever or whatever they played for.
Yeah. So he supported Liverpool for about a year.
Scored a penalty against Tottenham. Prick.
Like it's crazy to me. He said unless there's change, he said we are trying to say we are equal, but these things are not working. He said, unless there's change, don't ask me about it. Unless action is going to happen, I don't want to hear about it.
So then what? Do you just give up? Do you just capitulate until there is no racism anywhere? I'm not going to engage in trying to get rid of it. Is essentially the message. No.
I don't want to be part of like the slog. I don't want to be part of the struggle. I don't want to be part of.
Call me for the parade.
Let's when the party's popping though, invite me.
Call me for the parade.
I'll be back. Yeah. I'll be back when we're accepted. Until then, you're on your own, buddy.
Yeah.
Like what?
And like it's an unfortunate responsibility upon him as an extremely high profile and successful black athlete. But like his word matters. His word matters. Whether or not he wants to, it's an unfortunate fact that his input is received.
He is one of the best players in this league.
Facts.
He's one of the best players in the league.
Facts.
Really?
Facts.
Yes.
Oh, for sure. Wilf
is a fucking unbelievable baller.
He should be at any top four club.
The fact that it didn't work.
He's unbelievably good.
Yeah, the fact that it didn't work at Manchester United is a myth. Like we don't know why. Like it's crazy.
He's unbelievably
urban legend.
Good.
He's unreal.
Yeah.
So he is like. He's one of the faces of this sport in this country.
But he's also very marketable, right? Before this year, he's a good-looking boy. He's talkative, etc.
He's silky. Like he's got mad skills. So again, on a street level, he's got the sort of street footballer sensitivities, but it's just technical.
Yeah.
Like he's the type of player England really should have been built around. But we went through that awkward phase in that era where they kind of didn't really know what to do with Wilf in terms of his skills.
We still don't. To Hodgson, Workman.
Exactly. We still don't really know what to do with our ballers in this country anyway. But let's not get into that. But yeah, it's so disheartening because as I said, Willian is the latest player to get the racist attacks. Alec Tuanzebe, Rudiger, Ian Wright had the whole situation with the person who slid into his DMs. He took that person to court, and that person didn't even get. I don't even think that person got a criminal record. I think he got a fine or something like that. Lauren James, one of the women footballers. Like, come on. It's 9 seconds, B.
I mean, there's no...
And it's a message on your shirt.
There's no good time, I think, to make this point if you're Wilf. But this is a very bad time to make this point.
I'd even go as far as saying, if you want to have these conversations, take them with the FA, behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Go and sit with them and say, look, we've been doing this for months. nothing's happened. Yeah. Nothing is happening as far as I can see it.
That's what the PFA's for, right?
You know what I mean?
Chat to Troy Townsend.
Exactly. Kick it out. You know what I mean? Like, just fucking do something, right? And he's gone out publicly. And as Johnny said, it's so important that we don't have any house in this whole conversation. It's so important. No matter how you're feeling inside about how racism has affected you personally and whether or not it's affected you as much as the people who say it's a big problem, you have to humble yourself and just say, look, maybe it's not affected me as much as the next man, but if I come out and say it doesn't exist, I'm completely invalidating that person's experience.
Yeah.
Completely. And that's what you said. The minute people come on and be like, but wait, Wolf said that there's nothing going on, so what you man chatting about? The minute people start saying that, we're set back.
But I think Wolf could have made a very powerful point where if he'd been like, look, the knee isn't working, everyone's still getting racist abuse, this is still a massive problem, and this symbolism that you think is effective isn't effective, he'd probably have a point, right? Yeah. He'd probably have a point because it's not particularly effective, right?
It's not.
But what he should have said is, but I'm not playing football until it stops.
There you go. Put your money where your mouth is, buddy.
I'm not kicking ball until
there
it stops.
Go. See how much it really matters.
And do you know what?
Yeah, for real.
No black footballers are playing football until it stops. Rashford's not kicking ball until it stops. Pogba's not kicking ball until it stops. Saka's not kicking ball until it stops.
That's a movement.
And Ndombele's not kicking ball until it stops.
You had to sneak that in.
Mane's not kicking ball just to keep you happy until it stops.
Yes, Johnny.
Yeah? Trent's not kicking ball until it stops. Yeah, the balance.
No, for real. No, for real.
But that's a very, like, if you want to be political, get political.
There you go.
Unionize. Organize. You want to stop racism? Take the major fucking form of entertainment away. Yeah? Then people might start listening to you. But you coming out and giving oxygen to morons is not going to help your cause as you think it was. Like, I genuinely think that Wilf wants people to stop being racist. And I think that he's made these comments because he doesn't think that this form of process is effective. I still think he wants people to stop being racist, right?
Yeah.
He's just gone about achieving that end the wrong way, in my view.
100%.
So why is he at Crystal Palace? Why, if he's such a baller, why?
I'll tell you why. Because he come from Crystal Palace's academy. So he went to United, didn't work out, came back to Palace. About 3 or 4 years ago, he could have gone for cheap money, right? And he was naive. Palace said, look, we're going to give you a big contract. We're going to make you our top earner. It's going to be a 5-year contract, but wallah, after 2 years, we're going to let you go.
Didn't happen.
Obviously, they're not going to let him go. He's got a 5-year contract.
Yeah.
They fucking tucked man in.
And one thing I will say, even though he's an unbelievable footballer, is that you have to have the right kind of system for him to thrive in.
You need to build a team around him.
Yeah, you need to build a team around him. So it's not like he'll just slot in. He's not like Mane or whatever, or Salah, who can just go into any team and just make it pop, right? So... And as Johnny said, when he was, but he's definitely good enough to build a team around. Facts.
For sure.
If he went to Arsenal at the time, he was supposed to go to Arsenal a couple of seasons ago.
But when they signed Pepe instead for the same money,
exactly.
Like they'd be banging.
They'd be different.
Him and Saka on each wing.
Barely gets injured. He gets kicked to shit like 50 times a game. Barely gets injured.
15 goals a year out wide.
15 goals a year from wide.
Guy's a baller. He's a big profile.
Can score every kind of goal. Like he's unreal. But he, I just want whoever's around him to maybe just have a chat with him. About this particular thing and just be like, bro, like, you're important.
I'm going to say
this conversation.
I'm going to say this one's a shot off target.
Yeah. Woke.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Well done, mate.
Thank you very much.
I like that.
Do you know what I'm going to top? I'm going to say he's a bit offside on this one.
I have nothing because I don't really watch football.
Would you say that decision to speak out needs VAR?
I can't click on that one.
No?
No.
Why?
VAR. Oh, VAR. VAR.
Yeah.
But I have nothing to contribute.
Okay.
So. Red card?
Should we?
Red card.
Yeah, all right.
For the passive football
fan. Am I in?
Yeah.
Am I in? Guys, I'm in.
For the passive football fan, that's lit.
I was going to say we'd probably blow the final whistle on this topic.
I want to keep this going. Keep clicking.
I think the most important topic this week actually came out today. And the reason why it is so important, significant, is because it is a bit of a precedent in UK law or justice, whatever you want to call it. You're probably going to recognize the name when I say it, but the topic of discussion here is around UK citizenship and its relationship with terrorism and so on. Shamima Begum, if you hadn't guessed already, if you don't remember, I can give you a quick introduction. She was one of a few schoolgirls who, at the age of 15 years old, so it would have been 6 years ago because she's 21 now, quick maths. She was born in the UK to parents of Bangladeshi heritage. She was from Bethnal Green. She was recruited by the guy who soon then became her husband to go to, I think, was it not? Maybe not. Johnny's giving me the shake of the head. A Dutch recruit who I think impregnated her, though.
Yeah, so fine.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Maybe not married, but definitely impregnated. And she got found in Syria, 9 months pregnant in a Syrian refugee camp in 2019. Unfortunately, that baby died, and then she tried to make a return to the UK. At that time, our Home Secretary, Sajid Javid, essentially cancelled her British citizenship on security grounds. What has then since materialised is a number of appeals against this decision. Shamima appealed. She appealed to the Court of Appeal that she should be allowed to return to the UK to make her case. The Home Office then said, nah, bruv. Because
Home Office said nobody above blocking.
Yeah, no.
Nobody above blocking.
Above blocking.
That's fucked.
You stress me.
That's
I block you.
That's what they said, didn't it?
You try to bomb the country. I block you. You go to ISIS states.
I block you.
That's what Sajid Javid said. That's not what this kid and terribly said. Okay, those were Sajid's words.
And then V2, he said, "We move,
but we move."
He said, "If you bring Holdable to this country."
Yeah, exactly. No, but for real, all jokes aside, she tried to appeal and we essentially said no because she presented a significant national security risk. And so today was a significant part of the story because it was, the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court judged that, or made the decision that she isn't going to be allowed to return to the UK to continue the process of appealing this decision to revoke her citizenship. Now, why this is obviously interesting is because in the UK, clearly you become a citizen if you or your parents are born in the UK, if you live in the UK for a period of time, which is roughly around 5 years, or if you are if you're a Nigerian guy called Babatunde and you marry a white woman named Susie and you stay here for 3 years, you get your paper.
Mazel tov.
You get your paper. Right? No, shout out my Nigerians, that's rude. But ultimately, you can lose your citizenship on 3 grounds. One of those grounds, and I'm reading this, is it's for the public good and would not make them stateless. So you cannot, or you can lose your citizenship if the act of doing so didn't leave you stateless. The other thing is if the person achieved their citizenship through fraud, it can be taken. And the third thing is if their actions could harm UK interests and they can claim citizenship elsewhere. Shamima was actually stripped of her citizenship for that first reason, so the public good reason. Clearly, you've got two sides to this argument. Most people believe she was going to try and fucking bomb us, blah, blah, blah. How dare she fuck off? It's not our problem anymore. She fucked off. She can do... Meanwhile, a lot of people on the other side are like, look, she's one of ours, ultimately. She's one of ours. So we have to try her here, because her crime is ultimately our problem, even if it wasn't necessarily on our land. So it's a big conversation. And as I said, the Supreme Court ultimately said today that she's not going to be able to return to make a case or appeal the decision. And there's been a bit of an uproar from both sides. Johnny, I mean, what do you reckon?
So this might be a bit of a shock. I agree with the decision not to let her come back to stand trial. But I'm going to argue against my own position to start with.
Because you don't want that smoke from me.
One, because I can, and two, because it's important for background, I think.
Bet.
So the worrying precedent, and actually the thing I didn't like in this judgment was firstly that it's an explicit quote from the Supreme Court reading that said that one's personal liberty is actually secondary to national security in this country. And that's quite a dangerous precedent. Like, your right to a free trial is no longer above national security concerns. And I think that's the first that's been said.
Crazy.
The other point is that your citizenship can be stripped if you're a danger to national security. Now, that is a political point of view. Some might say that it's actually probably for the best, that if there are other countries to send you to, if you're a threat to national security, that you be sent to them. Yeah. Some say it's quite worrying, that people like, I guess, all three of us, we're all eligible for other passports, right? If any three of us became threats to national security, in theory, that this Shamima Begum ruling could apply to us. If I went to go join FARC in Colombia, for example, then they could send me out the country and force me to apply for a Venezuelan passport, which is the parallel to what happened to Shamima. They said, well, at the time we deport you, you are eligible to apply for a Bangladeshi passport. It later transpired that they didn't want her. But at the time they sent her, it was legal, right? So in terms of the legal...
Didn't they soon after say, though, Bangladesh, didn't they soon after say, or in the run-up to her citizenship being revoked, that she would not be able to get citizenship over there?
Thinking back chronologically, I think they were like, she's not going to get it.
Yeah.
And then we were like, all right, well, fine, it's your fucking problem. Bush, get rid.
Which arguably we shouldn't have done because...
You might argue that.
Yeah, because we're not supposed to leave her stateless given that she's a citizen.
But legally speaking, she wasn't stateless at the time because Bangladesh hadn't banned her entry. So by the time we got rid of her, she was still open to applying for Bangladeshi citizenship.
Okay.
It was only after we binned her
that they said
no.
Oh, okay, so that was my misunderstanding. I thought they said it in the run-up to the UK saying, nah, blood.
No, so they came out and said it's unlikely, but they hadn't said no, right? Okay. So they kind of, like, the Tories took a chance and it came off.
Yeah.
So those are warring legal precedents that people with access to other passports can be deported under national security. And national security, as we've seen throughout the last 20 years, kind of the defining era of millennial childhood from 9/11 to any kind of major terrorist event, is that anything can be declared in the interest of national security, right? So it's kind of worrying that you can be kicked out of the country just for being a little bit foreign if the police think you're dangerous. That's concerning. That's not a great precedent to set. The reason that I'm for this decision, that I'm against Shamima coming back, is that I don't necessarily buy that she can't be tried in absentia.
Okay.
And so this decision today was that she won't be allowed to come back to the country to appeal against the revocation of her citizenship. Now, I'm entirely for her getting a fair hearing. Okay. But I do kind of buy the argument that her returning would pose a national security risk.
Why do you believe that? Like, a lot of people have said that, and most countries, the UK included, have a history in returning radicalized people from ISIS back to their homes, back to the UK. We have precedents set, we have history in doing so. So why is Shamima's case different?
Because Shamima comes with a body of evidence.
I keep saying her name wrong, by the way.
Yeah.
Shamima, my bad.
So the majority of former ISIS fighters who return to Britain are able to do so because the state doesn't have sufficient evidence to block their return.
But they have evidence on her, basically.
Yeah, so there isn't sufficient documented evidence of their involvement, of their activity, of their role, their
just
past,
suspicion or like conspiracy.
There's a lot of conjecture or whatever. It doesn't stand up in a court of law, right?
Really?
They've got banks of evidence of what Shamima did and what she's admitted to. She spoke to the fucking Times about it in 2019, etc. But the majority of ISIS fighters that come back, the government haven't got sufficient surveillance on them to prove that they were chopping people up or shooting people in Raqqa and whatever, right? So that's the kind of specific answer to your question. I think that, and so the first thing is that her lawyer's case was that she should never have been stripped in the first place. Well, that's been proven as false as per the chronology that we've provided. At the time that she was sent away, she was eligible to apply for Bangladeshi citizenship. It later turned out that she wasn't eligible. That's not necessarily Britain's problem, legally speaking. You can politically disagree with that. You can, but legally speaking, that's not Britain's problem. If there are sufficiently interested people for her to be removed from her camp in northern Syria so that she can attend trial in absence, then maybe they should step forward and, provide that funding for her to be able to attend court. But I don't believe that her being in this country, given that she has legal representation here, is going to significantly impact the outcome of her case.
So for you, the best outcome would be they crack on with the case anyway, but just leave her where she is. And you're really more disappointed that they've decided today that they can't do it without her being here.
No, so my ideal is that she gets a fair trial.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that...
But she doesn't need to be here to get it.
Yeah, exactly. So you started by saying that she doesn't need to be here. So your preferred outcome from today's decision would be the judge would actually say, we can carry on this case. But today they've effectively delayed it, right?
So the judge hasn't done anything to delay it in law. In practice, it's going to be very difficult for her to find anywhere that she can go to attend trial, right? Yeah. She's going to need either political lobbying or enough money to find a safe part of Syria or cross into Turkey so that she can actually find somewhere to attend trial and defend herself.
So what happens then?
So it's now kind of in limbo in perpetuity, right? Even if she were to come back to this country, I also would want her trial in absentia on whether or not she's committed a crime. So I understand the fact that she went when she was 15. I get that. She was groomed. She was a minor, legally speaking. She wasn't responsible for her actions, right?
Which is pretty key.
And that's absolutely clear. Yeah. That's indisputable. She went as a 15-year-old girl. She was groomed.
Yeah.
For me, what's important is that she did decide to stay beyond the age of 18.
Bro, that's part of radicalisation, though.
In what context?
She went as a 15-year-old, and you're saying that she should have made the decision when she was legally of age to do so. She got there through brainwashing that started at 15. What do you think happens when she's actually in the belly of it?
Yeah, and I hear that. But she made a conscious decision and then defended her decisions as a senior. So even when the Times turned up in 2019 and interviewed her, right, it's a fairly famous interview, and that, at the time, ISIS was falling apart. And effectively what she asked for was forgiveness from Britain, but she didn't really show remorse, Like the content of her defense was like, yeah, all right, like it's not great, but like Britain also does pretty shit things. And like, yeah, she has a point. Britain does really fucking shit things, especially in the Middle East. But it doesn't mean that Britain has to take her back if she shows no remorse, right? And, speaking to a wider problem and the government-specific defence in this case, fucking as if I want to be on this podcast defending the Tories, right?
Yeah.
I do think it presents a national security risk insofar as, one, allowing her back in to the country to stand against her revocation of status or criminal defence would set a precedent for other ISIS fighters being able to come back in. I don't think anyone wants ISIS fighters to be allowed back into the country. I don't think that's controversial.
That's not controversial.
Political view or whatever, right? But more importantly, I'm not entirely sure, really, that she deserves the chance to be given an opportunity to radicalise people in our prison system.
For you.
I mean, she's not going to come back and be found innocent, right? There's plenty of evidence that she was kind of supporting ISIS as a senior, right? As you went as a minor, but we already have a sufficient radicalisation problem in our prison system. And as well as causing a precedent of allowing people to come back from ISIS fighting countries, we would provide an instant icon for radicalismists in this country by allowing her to come back.
I agree wholeheartedly with that.
So that's kind of my beef with it, right?
Bit. Yeah.
And, like, the thing I have is about
that's the first thing I thought of. Like, if she comes back here and goes into prison system, like, she could still carry out a mission.
Yeah. But again, how is that any different to what I said before? Yes, Johnny said we don't have evidence in the other cases where we have returned ISIS fighters to the UK. We don't have sufficient evidence to prove XYZ, right? But the reality is that if they are coming from ISIS, they're probably somewhat involved in that messaging, in that anti-Western world rhetoric, right? So if we let them in, we're under the same fucking risks, except we've got evidence, compelling evidence against one, but not as much compelling evidence against another group. So we're ultimately in the same situation.
So fine, but you can only kind of prosecute the cases that you can prosecute, right?
I get it. I get it. But I think we know, reading between the lines, there's what happens in the justice system and what happens in the real world. And I think we while we know a great deal about the judicial system, we also know a hell of a lot more about what happens in the real world.
Yeah,
right?
and do you know what? And kind of, again, woe betide fucking arguing for the Tories here, but this case is kind of, and the specific example you raise is a defence of the independent judicial system, in that nobody wants these fucking people back in the country, right? But they have been allowed back in because under the rule of law, we couldn't prosecute them successfully. That is a defense of the justice system itself, right?
Yeah.
Something else I wanted to address is the whole point about statelessness.
Yeah.
And aside from the thing about Britain and Bangladesh, etc., like, it's not necessarily our fault that ISIS don't issue passports, right? And Shamima Begum, as a senior, saw herself as a citizen of the Islamic State, right? This raises a wider question, in my view, something that's not really talked about for some reason, on the right to self-determination of states, okay? So it's something you can apply to people from Kosovo, or from South Ossetia, or from Abkhazia, or from Palestine, or from Taiwan, or whatever, right? But any other country that isn't necessarily internationally recognized doesn't mean it should be denied the right to self-identification.
Yeah.
And just because ISIS isn't recognized by other people doesn't mean that the people who live there don't believe that they are part of that country.
Yeah.
Right? So when Shamima Begum left the UK, she thought she was going to a state, but didn't leave her stateless. She went to a state that then also happened to be a belligerent at war and an enemy combatant of the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
So I get it, right? She was born here, raised here, etc. But she did leave. She left as a minor, but she stayed as a senior, and she went to a country that had intent and followed through with killing Brits, right?
Do you think it's the remorse element that has fucked her in this?
I think maybe the remorse bit has impacted her public image. Yeah, sure. Like, I mean, obviously, like, her mental state must be absolutely fucked, right? Like, she was recruited by fuck knows who, flown to Turkey, got to ISIS, married this random Dutch bloke when she got there, and then she's lost 3 kids along the way. Yeah. Like, it's awful. It's brutal.
Yeah, which is why, everything that's been said about this famous interview in 2019, which I watched as well, yeah, like, I just don't think we're giving her a fair judgment when we say things like she didn't show remorse. I'm not actually sure that she understands much about emotions and genuine psychological development.
So she needs a court case. I entirely agree. Like, she needs to be heard in court.
I think that was an unfair reflection of a normal. What was she at the time?
She was 19 when she was found.
It's not fair.
Yeah, and I can subscribe to that.
I need to be very, very, very clear on the podcast that I'm not a sympathizer.
Yeah,
right? I'm not. I'm not at all.
Obviously.
But I do think this whole remorse element, which I've definitely heard loads, right? Everyone's like, she isn't even fucking sorry. Like, yeah, she's not all there.
Yeah, and I can entirely subscribe to that.
Yeah,
I can entirely subscribe to that, which is why I think she does need to be tried. And actually, I think, like, my ideal outcome is probably that she does serve a sentence in this country. I've probably changed my mind on that. Previously, I would have thought, well, no, she can serve her sentence somewhere else.
Like, but isolation.
Yeah, I think so. Because she has committed a crime. Like, I don't think anyone denies that sponsoring ISIS is a crime in this country.
And that's kind of what I'm saying, because you were like, justice system, spreading the message when she gets into a prison over here, etc., etc. We have the infrastructure in place, as you say, to have solitary confinement, to have an isolation situation. So we've basically palmed her off. And I do feel like there is an element of especially at the time of it, right? It's a huge political play by the Tories, anti-terrorism rhetoric, like, to make a name of somebody.
Yeah, but also,
and I know that they had cause, right? They had reason, they had evidence. Like, I'm not just saying they plucked some unwilling person. Like, they definitely have evidence, and she's definitely guilty, it would appear. But again, we made an example of her at a time. We're not reversing it right now. But there's a niggling side of me that's just like, yeah, we've got the measures and we've got the structures in place to bring it.
But the thing is that at the same time, like, I do agree with what Johnny was saying, because I feel like you can't take that risk. So what if, like, for example, she's pleading to, like, try and have her return back to the UK. But then that itself is just a massive plot twist. Maybe I'll watch Homeland. I don't know, but, like, what
same.
What if it's like a massive plot twist, and, like, she's playing it in an innocent game, but, like, she's playing the sympathy card game right now, and she's showing all the real signs that, look, she wants to come back to the UK, yada yada yada. But really and truly, she's been trained in a way whereby she can, in a sense, get through that.
Yeah.
And then if she has to do time, she does time. But if she doesn't, then she can carry on. She's back in.
Yeah.
You know,
which is why I think that it is crucial.
There could be intelligence, that are, like, looking into this, already know these things already that we don't.
And I agree with you, and I entirely agree with you. Which is why I think it's crucial that she does get a hearing on her citizenship.
Yeah.
But she doesn't need to be here for that to happen.
So not here for her court case, but if she's found guilty, then placed in our prison system.
So the way I think this works is that because she has now been denied access to Bangladesh, once she has her citizenship hearing, it's reinstated.
Okay.
Once she is, once again, a Brit, she is subject to the British judicial system.
Right.
So I think she has her trial in absentia over the revocation. That gets overturned. She becomes a British citizen again, and then she's tried criminally for what she's done. And in that case, she's found guilty, and then she has to serve time here.
Fucking hell, man.
And that's legalese, right? Like, there are 100 different political views you can take on that. Like, should she be allowed here to come back to prison? One, for the radicalisation issue, but two, because it's going to be a cost to the taxpayer. Why should the taxpayer have to fund her prison sentence? Well,
we pay for fucking everything else, mate.
Yeah, well, there's that, and the taxpayer should pay for it, because if she is reinstated as a British citizen, then that is what the tax system is for. And that's what the prison system is for too.
We don't get to cherry pick all of the great things that come with being a Brit. Unfortunately, in my view, we have to take the pretty and the ugly. Unfortunately, Yeah, man, it's crazy. So what do we have in terms of the next step? It's just, I guess, a limbo until her political team, decide to make a move or what?
So she's currently in a camp in northern Syria.
Yeah, I saw that.
And the argument is that it's difficult for her to defend her case from there. And yeah, I guess that's true. It's not a great place to try and fucking.
I would imagine though that she would, like, top lawyers would actually want to defend her.
Sure. Yeah.
Like,
so you think,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
So,
this is.
I think I'm just thinking just from a perspective of her hearing and stuff like that, and her being well equipped, or like just her case being well prepped and stuff. I think she'll probably have that sort of support from her, but that's also from a financial gain from
Well, listen, this is
law firms to do so.
This has got like Amal Clooney written all over it, right?
Yeah,
big time. But yeah, I know, don't. But can
never expected it.
Can Shamima Begum get somewhere where it's reasonable for her to be tried? Well, that's basically a question of money, right?
Yeah,
that's a question of funding. Is there sufficient funding behind her case to support this? It's a pretty fucked truth of the justice system that it does come down to money. Yeah. But it does come down to money. So if you really care about Shamima Begum,
law firms looking for some pro bono.
That's what's up,
baby.
So like, if you're really, really down for Shamima Begum having a trial, contribute to the legal fund.
Yeah,
that's what's up. And I do.
I won't be subscribing to that GoFundMe.
And a lot of people won't, right? A lot of people won't. But like, I do feel quite strongly that she does deserve a trial.
Yeah.
I also feel quite strongly that she doesn't need to be here for that trial.
That's an interesting angle. I think when we brought up this topic on the phone earlier, I wasn't expecting that to be your angle. I thought your angle was going to be more towards
get rid of the bitch.
Yeah, well, not because I know you. I know it wasn't going to be like that, but I didn't think it was going to be more focused on the fact that she doesn't have to be here. I didn't actually think about it that way. She doesn't she doesn't have to be here for her trial. But what's interesting to me, however, is that like Johnny's making the distinction between being here for the trial and them being open to her being in our prison system should she be found guilty.
So there are two different cases, right?
So I get it, but yeah.
Yeah, so the first case is she British or not?
Yeah.
Yes or no? Yeah. I think eventually she'll be found yes.
Yeah.
I can understand why no now.
Yeah.
But if it's redone, I think she will be found British. So once she's British, is she guilty, not guilty?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's fucking bang guilty.
I would say so.
So she ends up in our prison system.
Yeah.
But she deserves the trial to be, at least deserves the trial to be found to be British or not.
Facts.
Yeah.
Woo.
So she was hoping to come back, but you could say that her hopes have been dashed. I saw it on Twitter. I had to. Sorry, go on, Sam. Go on.
No, forget it.
You can't even talk after a joke like that. You can't.
It's like the Scottish bird who.
We're all going to
It's like the Scottish bird who ended up there and said ISIS.
Can you say it in a Scottish accent?
ISIS.
Oh my lord.
Go on, Zavi. You had a question?
We're all going to help.
Why am I going to help? You saw it.
Guilty by association.
You laughed.
Tell me who your mates are, and I'll tell you who you are. Yeah, no, but for real, good talk, man. Good talk. Yeah, I guess to everyone involved in that case, man. Good luck. It seems like it's gonna be.
Good luck, Charlie.
Good luck, Charlie.
Banger.
Yeah. So what else has been going on? What else has been going on this? Well, I got a question for you, man. More Johnny. But actually, Zabi, you can relate to this even if you don't like football. We mentioned Zaha earlier before, and he switched allegiances, right? From England to Sierra Leone. Sorry, Ivory Coast. Mika Antonio also made that decision this week.
Oh, he did?
Right? Yeah, so he represented England at every level. He got called up.
Friendly appearance, didn't he?
Yeah, he got called up. He didn't actually end up playing, I think. He got injured in the run-up to his England call-up, or his first England cap. He has decided that he's going to represent Jamaica. He's going to switch his allegiance to Jamaica so that he has one last opportunity to play in a World Cup in 2022. And he's like 30 now, so it would be one of his last opportunities.
His last chance, really.
But it did get me thinking, like, how do you guys feel about players who sort of start playing for England, for example, go through the youth system and play for the international team, maybe at a very non-competitive level, but then switch their allegiance to another country because it doesn't really go well for them for England?
Why not?
I think it's real. But
I agree, by the way. I just wanted to get your opinion.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I
fuck
agree.
it.
I agree.
Like what, England are complaining that the Caribbean islands stole their resource? Like, that's fucking rich. Do you know what I mean? Like,
facts. Yeah, no, it's
real. No, it's real talk though.
I remember having a conversation, or maybe seeing a conversation online striking up about, you know, typical fucking idiots who said that, you know, you can't fucking pick and choose where you're from. You ain't Jamaican. You just didn't make it for
you can't fucking pick and choose if you're from Swindon.
But it's just like, yeah, for real. But it's just like, yeah, I also find it quite interesting. They took that view.
Who would you play for? I'll play for Venezuela, 100%.
That's interesting.
Even if I was a baller.
Why would you play for Venezuela? Interesting. That's very interesting.
I don't know, man. I just feel like I don't know. I feel like I spiritually identify with that part of my being very strongly. Like, my English side of my family is not that English, right?
Yeah,
they're all Seychelles.
Yeah.
And Seychelles are fucking shit at football, so I'm not playing for them.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, I don't know. And it'd be fucking jokes, because even if you're only half decent at football, you're a fucking icon in Venezuela, because they all play baseball. So like, you're guaranteed to get a go in the Copa America, and you're 2 games away from playing against Messi. Like, do you know how many ballers there are in England? It's fucking hard, bro. Yeah, I'm not bad at it.
I don't know, bro. Like, I was asked this question a lot, like when I was playing football growing up, and I don't know. Like, I'm from London, man. I'm a proper Londoner. And I'm a proper Londoner.
Mate, if there was a choice between a London team and an England team, I'm playing for London.
London, 100%.
I'm a Londoner, bro.
Like, 100%. But yeah, I think it'd make my parents happy if I played for Nigeria. It'd make my parents very happy if I played for Nigeria. But would I feel super authentic playing for Nigeria? Probably not. I'll be honest.
Why would you feel inauthentic?
Because I don't speak Yoruba. I can barely speak a fucking lick of pigeon. Do you know what I mean? They'll be chatting away in the changing room, and I'll just be like, yeah. So I got that new Burner album. That's about it. That's about it.
Like, my Spanish isn't great. Like, it passes.
But you speak it.
It's not great, right? But
I'm very Nigerian. Like, both my parents are Nigerian.
But this is the point. It's your cultural identity, right? Yeah,
but I'd almost feel... Weirdly, I'd almost feel a bit fraudulent. It's weird. And as I say, the reason why I don't have an answer to this, and the reason why it's perplexing me, as you can visibly see, is I just don't really know. I'd feel almost like a little bit of an imposter playing for Nigeria. But at the same time, you know, it's like being fucking black in the UK, black in England growing up, and all this other stuff. So it's weird. You're in a weird little place in between, because it's like what you should potentially feel proud in representing, but don't necessarily identify with heavily, i.e. Nigeria for me, and where I should, many would argue, represent without even thinking about it, because I was born here, raised here, etc. But yet you're not feeling as though you are, quote unquote, super English, whatever that fucking means. So, mate, sorry, I know I waffled, but I don't really know.
Do you know what? Like, nobody I've ever met Venezuelan has ever qualified me as not Venezuelan. Yeah. But plenty of English people have qualified me as not English.
Yeah, but you often get that in Nigeria though, the other way around, bro.
Do you? Like, so you don't get that in Venezuela?
Yeah, no. So
no one would ever tell me I'm not Venezuelan.
When you go Sierra Leone or like Martinique, are you considered like English boy or whatever?
You know what? Like, I'm considered. I think Sierra Leone. I'm considered. You know what? Actually, no. They know that obviously I'm from England.
Yeah.
But like, I've never had a.
You don't get a foreign thing.
No, I never.
No, yeah.
I think it might be because though. I spent a lot of time in both. I spent a lot of time in Martinique growing up as a kid. Yeah. Like every summer holiday I was there. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I just barred maybe some language barrier to an extent.
Yeah.
They just see me as Martinican. And Sierra Leone, like I've been Sierra Leone once since I was born, but I never really had that problem either because I speak Creole.
Yeah.
But you might have the odd jokes here and there. But then again, when I'm in Sierra Leone, I'm just surrounded by my family. Yeah. So I'm not surrounded by people who aren't my family who would say them things. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
I feel you. Yeah, no, you definitely get a feel that you're like a bit of a foreigner in Nigeria for sure.
Maybe it's a big country, small country thing.
Maybe.
I feel like anyone Venezuelan's like, holy shit, like you're Venezuelan? Like I don't know about Sierra Leoneans and Martinicans, but like certainly in Seychelles, even I'm not Seychellois, but when I meet other Seychellois in London, and they're like, holy shit, like you know where fucking Mahe is? Like,
bro, that's how it is for Martinicans. Yeah. So I've only known like two, but bar like my mum and my sister, the only other Martinican that I really knew was my ex-girlfriend. And that was a mad coincidence, you know what I mean? But like other than that, there's hardly any Martinique. Apparently there's bare Martinicans in Vauxhall, like random.
Oh, for
real?
But
other than that, the same thing. So if I spot someone from Martinique, it's sort of like, oh my God,
there's another one. Like, yo, what's up? Let's come for dinner, eat some shit. Like,
for real. Nah, I don't know. Maybe I'll think about that a little bit more and give you an answer. But to be honest,
come back next week.
I was gonna say like it's.
If I was to pick one,
it's not exactly something I'm gonna have to really worry about, given my footballing days are over.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Jamaica would have a bad boy team if all
Bruv, do you know how many times I think about that? Do you know that specific conversation, I should say?
Oh my days.
If you took all of the players who play for France, Germany, Holland, and planted them
Africa
like where their parents are from,
Africa would have won a World Cup by now.
Bruv,
easily.
Suriname would have like Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, Clarence Seedorf, just do it like I think
Wijnaldum as well.
Fucking Virgil van Dijk's half Surinamese.
Yeah,
like they'd be lit.
Senegal would have a fucking
Senegal would be
madness,
out of here, bro. Out of here. Africa would have scooped up several World Cups by now,
sure,
bro.
I want to pick a team, but I can't really because Sierra Leone ain't really got a football team. You got a football team, but like
one Sierra Leone footballer, like
nah, they got.
Oh, there was.
I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah, it is the West Ham boy. What's his name again?
No, there was an old one. He was called Mohammed something.
What's the West Ham guy? Cole. Carlton Cole.
Is he from Sierra Leone?
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
And what's your guy's name? The one that's mixed race but he looks white. Older footballer.
Mixed race but looks white.
He played for United.
Rio.
No, I can't find it. Let's just carry on.
It does not exist, though. I'm telling you. We'll find it though. If any of our listeners know this enigmatic, elusive
trivia, props to you, man. It wasn't John Terry, was it? Just
yeah, man. I ain't actually got a great deal. I want to dedicate this specific new music session just to one artist. I'm not going to go into the album in any great detail. I'm not going to speak about I am going to speak about why you should get into it and why you should respect him and why it's important. New music this week, the whole segment is dedicated to Ghetts.
100%.
The Ghetts. OG, bruv.
Ghetts. As Kano said on Instagram the other day, superbly, best in the world on current form, rude boy.
Oh,
in the world,
best in the world on current
world.
And when Kano says that
in the world, Kano's capping.
And when Kano says that about you, like, I mean, look,
Drake's been hanging out an album for 5 months, bruv. Don't talk about Drake on form, bruv.
I need to get through one new music section without talking about Certified Fucking Lover Boy.
No, you've done it, haven't you?
You just brought up Drake.
I didn't say the name of the album.
Now I'm here with you.
I didn't even bring up Drake.
I didn't say the name of the album.
No, he did it for me.
No, hold on. You were fuming because we said that he was the best on form, and you were like, "Well, obviously not Drake the best on form because he's."
I didn't even say Drake. I just said
you were thinking it, bruv.
I said he's capping.
I see your face.
He's definitely thinking.
Definitely thinking it.
No, but for real.
I make a mixtape called Dry Toes, cuz.
Conflicts of interest.
I made a black boy sing for me.
Hey. Conflict of interest. His new album came out last week. By the time this drops, we will know whether or not the nationwide campaign to get this album to #1 was successful or not. But that swept the streets, and I really, really hope it's successful. Ghetts is one of the single greatest rappers this country has produced.
Facts.
He had to wait in the wings. He battled demons. He battled Babylon and all that shit, right? All throughout his younger days. Went inside, came back out. And all you have seen in terms of his character, in terms of his music, is constant growth. Insane trajectory. He's still young in the game. He's still doing bits. And he's still here to stay. But this album right here is superb. Conflicts of interest. Please go and listen to it. Stream the fuck out of it. If it doesn't go #1 this week, maybe it'll go #1 next week. Make sure you do that. He's unbelievable.
Straight bar, man.
That album's cold, man. And the song with Ed Sheeran on repeat.
Song with Ed Sheeran. Songs with Stormzy. Songs with there's a sick song with JK. JK is one of my favorite UK rappers. Like sick song with JK on there. Like the album is amazing. His wordplay is amazing. The beats sound amazing. But there's something about this album, this rollout, this aura, this where he is musically, that is just inspiring a lot of people.
He's OG.
He's gone about it the long way. His name used to be Ghetto. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then he changed it to Ghetts to make it a little bit more
commercial,
you could say.
Or
right?
marketable.
He sat next to as I said, he sat next to people like Kano. He was on tour with like the Streets from early and all these, man. He watched all of these other guys hit the top of the charts and do all of this stuff. He had to stay focused on his goal. He flirted with like some of the more poppier songs. Sing
like,
for me,
I might go and sing.
You know, all them things there. He tried it. Everybody did during that time. We're not going to hold it against him. I think Skepta had a song, Rescue Me. Do you remember that song? And that song was dead. Yeah. But they all tried it. He stuck to the fucking plan, man. And if he ends up number one, it'd be a sweeter story than when, like, I don't know, Giggs was finally allowed to do tours and he had that song with Drake that just tore it up. Like, it's these stories in the UK hip hop story, wider UK hip hop story, that are just so inspirational. I love to see it. Let's get Ghetts to number one. Ghetts, you smashed it. Congratulations.
And I'm actually very happy that you mentioned Giggs.
Uh-oh.
Right? I don't believe what's coming.
I found who I was talking about.
Who?
And to end the podcast,
okay,
I would say that the Sierra Leonean, the footballer with Sierra Leonean heritage that I was looking for is Ryan Giggs.
No fucking way.
Yeah, his granddad's from Sierra Leone. I saw it in a documentary.
I thought he's Indian, fam.
No. His granddad's from Sierra Leone. He's mixed race. His granddad's from Sierra Leone.
Yeah, I knew he was mixed race.
But I thought
he's quarter mixed. He's quarter mixed. His dad's mixed race, right?
His granddad is from Sierra Leone.
No way, bro.
100%. Yeah.
How has Xavi come here on 11 episodes later? How was Xavi come and drop football trivia like this on us?
No, he sent to school, fam.
Shit.
No, that's that's PhD level football.
There's two reasons why I know that. Yeah, it's because this documentary and Sierra Leone is so small and the Creole community is super small. Where like they all your grandparents stuff will know each other. It's just like a word thing, like a word of mouth sort of thing that you know what I mean. Anyway, yeah.
Ryan Giggs, man.
I searched for that. By the way, guys, I actually paused the show and called a friend and still didn't get it.
Facts.
And while I've been talking, it just came to me and there it is, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't fuck with Ryan Giggs though. He literally banged.
Bro, he is a scumbag,
wife.
Bro. Over and over again.
Over and over again.
That's like no remorse, you know?
Crazy.
Oh, yeah, no, he had no shame about it.
Crazy.
But he didn't even wife it. Like, he repeatedly banged it and then didn't even wife it. Just like,
yeah, for real.
Just burst and meet, beat, delete, fam, with your brother's missus. That's
meet,
fucking
beat, delete.
rude,
I love it.
Bruv.
Shout out to Jay-Z who secured a deal with LVMH to
secure the package.
Yeah, to take a 50% or purchase a 50% stake in Armand de Brignac, also known as Ace of Spades, the luxury champagne brand that Jay-Z bought into, developed and built into a global brand after he boycotted. This is the most amazing story. This is why Jay-Z is a fucking legend, right? Despite what Johnny said last week about that whole Fred Hampton shit, which we're not going to get into, by the way. We're not going to get into.
Proves the point that I made about Fred Hampton.
We're not getting into it.
It's capitalist.
We're not getting into it.
Billionaire shouldn't exist.
Get it off. Come on.
Billionaire shouldn't exist. It's unhealthy, right?
He's not a billionaire yet. Anyway.
He is.
He's not. But anyway.
No, he is.
All right, Johnny, shut up. Boycotted Cristal. Obviously, hip hop immortalized Cristal at one point. Every single video, famously like "Hate Me Now," Diddy and Nas spitting it out, pouring it over everything, and then Cristal basically came out and said, "We don't like you, Surrogate. Stop drinking my shit." You know, basically, that's basically what happened.
Oh, for real.
And Jay-Z
said they basically that they can't stop.
Yeah,
they asked him,
they
how do you
don't
feel
care.
about it, and they go, "Well, we can't exactly stop them."
Yeah, they don't really care about the hip hop community endorsing their brands as big as it wasn't. Hip hop obviously wasn't as big then as it is now, but it was still pretty big then, right?
Do you know how many old school hip hop tracks there are with the word Cristal in it?
Yeah, exactly. So Jay-Z didn't like that. So he went about it like fucking G's do. Bought his own brand, built it, and is now partnering with arguably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, liquor alcohol brand in
the
LVMH. And they're going to add Armand de Brignac to their portfolio of luxury drinks. It's an undisclosed fee, but that's a publicly traded company. So
that's how you know it's big.
Yeah, so I think eventually we'll get some sort of disclosure on what that deal looks like. But for now, it's an undisclosed fee. We'll find out more about it later. Congratulations to Jay-Z, man.
Amen. Congratulations, man.
Wow.
I got one bone to pick with him though.
Capitalism's evil.
Right. Is it the hair? Because I'm
capitalism team.
Is it the hair?
No. The hair don't really. If he wants to, he's got his hair screams to me. Yeah, he's either too rich to give a F, or just too rich to give it F.
It's definitely, it's definitely one of those.
I think it's the latter.
Or I think personally, he's mad inspired by Jean-Michel because it looks very similar to Jean-Michel's hair.
Yeah.
But what annoys me on the capitalism thing, I don't know how I feel about like knowing. I don't know how I feel about knowing. Good on him, but you know, like it costs like $13 to make a bottle of Ace of Spades.
Oh, for real?
And it sells like retail is a markup.
How much you think on Wave Runners you're wearing costs to make?
Yeah, that's also true.
Bruh, capitalism, baby.
But $13. That's a fun fact to know, though. Like, it costs $13 to make a bottle.
Buy low,
sell high.
Sell high.
But in Jay-Z's,
like that much, like
in Jay-Z's defense, like it's actually champagne that he sells, right?
Yeah,
it's champagne grapes. Okay, so it's not necessarily that cheap to produce. He produces enough that it costs 13. Where are those Wave Runners made?
Oh,
no, let's see.
Probably
Taiwan. Taiwan. They're probably made in Taiwan, right?
Maybe.
China or Taiwan. So you give Jay-Z shit, but you're wearing crap that are made in more exploitative in India.
Oh yeah, those are the second ones because they switched from Asia from Taiwan to India.
Okay,
but hold that because I've reused this.
Jay-Z's definitely paying his staff better than Nike are for those Wave Runners.
Yeah, but think about it, bro. I've worn these how many times? Yeah, once I drink Ace of Spades, that's it. The bottle's done, bros.
Yeah, but once either the bottle of champagne or the shoes leave the factory, they're gone, right? The worker doesn't care about the product anymore. The fact is that Nike's shoes are probably more exploitative than Jay-Z's champagne.
Facts. Yeah. But anyway, that's a conversation for another day. I actually think we should note down a conversation for the future. Should billionaires exist? I think we should have that conversation. I think that'd be a really good conversation for us to have.
We'll get into that.
We're really, really bad, by the way, at saying we're going to talk about this later.
Oh, we're going to have to listen to all the old episodes. Yeah, we're going to go back on all the shit that we need to get back into.
If any interns want some work, some podcast work,
listen to the shit we promised to talk about.
Get in touch. You can come and hang out with us. It's pretty fun, and we provide alcohol. But yeah, man, what are you guys doing? The sun's coming out, man. You guys got any weekend plans?
You know what? I'm
going to consider drinking outside.
Bro, can we talk about my drinking for a second?
Oh, bro, you still know how to...
it's February 26th. What is it going to be? 29th or whatever when this comes out.
It's not a leap year, bro.
Good point. Forgot it was Feb, my bad. It's going to be March by the time this episode comes out. Like, I've had... We're not even counting the Baileys that I had on Jan 1. I had one night in 2021 where I've had a drink.
Fair play. Keeping it kosher.
That's it. I do massage guns now.
You're gonna turn vegan sometime around July.
Nah, I'm not doing that.
Go full holistic.
Nah, bro. Meat eater.
Buddhist pending 2022.
That sounded weird. So you're gonna be drinking outside. You're gonna be chilling. Can you tell us what you're doing? Are we allowed to talk about what you've been doing with this Warhol? Because that looks curious. Should we? Nah, should we not?
Nah,
no. I've dropped the hint.
Yeah, let's cool. Yeah, I'm just experimenting, man. Just testing.
We'll do that episode 12.
We'll come. But look, man.
It's actually funny. I'll tell you something funny about that afterwards.
I bet. Look, this is episode 11 of This Kid Ain't Terribly.
Episode 11.
Any final thoughts?
Just enjoy March. Enjoy the start of March. Happy start of March.
We're nearly there, UK. We're nearly there.
YouTubers, don't be shy.
Yeah, all people with YouTube accounts.
You think I forgot about
Johnny,
you lot?
Can you imagine Johnny, who is a host on this podcast, a co-host, didn't even think to himself, let me create a YouTube account just so I can subscribe, just so it's got one more subscriber. Pagan.
I don't subscribe to capitalism.
On that note, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.